Okay, we need to talk about immigration. I want to talk about this because I got a text message from a friend of mine, Jamie, who is doing phone banking right now with a great organization called Surge. She's calling into Georgia and North Carolina. And she texted me this morning and she said, Jessica, I am talking to so many Republicans who know they really shouldn't vote for Trump, but they're so worked up about immigration, which is fine. Okay, that's your issue. That's fine. But they don't know, she says, without exception, are unaware that Donald Trump killed bipartisan immigration legislation in February of this year. She said, you've got to get the word out somehow. I said, all I do is talk about this. All Kamala Harris does is talk about it. All any Democratic proxy does is talk about it. And somehow the word is not getting out. So I am going to ask you to please understand something so that you can talk to your friends and family about this. And this is so easy to confirm. Literally Google the words, who killed the bipartisan immigration bill 2024, and the first name that will come up is Donald Trump, because Donald Trump killed a bill that would have been the first comprehensive immigration reform in 34 years. And this is the other thing I really need people to understand. Congress is responsible for passing immigration legislation. Presidents can do a certain amount with executive orders, but ultimately, we are so overdue for comprehensive immigration legislation, and that means legislation that deals both with people trying to come in through the border and also with the immigrants that we need to fill jobs and do work in this country. And guess when the last time is that a bill like that was passed? 1989. And since then, Congress has tried over and over again. They tried in 2001 and it got canceled because of the World Trade Centers. They tried in 2005, 2006. It got killed in conference committee, probably by Republicans. 2013, a bipartisan group worked on it forever, and in the end, John Boehner, Republican of the House, would not bring it up for a vote even though it had the votes. So Republicans killed that one. And since then, again, Kyrsten Sinema and a Republican senator tried to work something out 2 years ago. Again, Republicans said no. And then this year, in February, Republicans wrote a bill that was everything they wanted, except for like $100 billion more for a border wall, because we know that those walls don't work. Do you know that Trump's border wall, which is not complete, by the way, he got about a third of it done, it has penetrated something like 11 times a day with a tool that costs $40 from Home Depot, okay? So Trump, of course, is always looking backwards to backwards technology. A wall is not going to solve it. What will solve it is comprehensive immigration legislation passed by Congress. That means they have to be willing to sit down. And also new technology, which Kamala Harris talked about today in her immigration speech. But Donald Trump doesn't, everything he wants to do is like 50 years ago. He doesn't even know how to fix this problem. And let me remind you of something else, that Donald Trump had a congressional majority. He had a trifecta. For the first 2 years he was president, what did he do to fix immigration then? What did he do? I'm waiting for an answer, because he did nothing. And he had congressional majorities. I am going to say this as clearly as I can. There was a bill that would have been passed in February. Democrats thought that it was really harsh. None of the stuff they wanted to protect Dreamers was in it, but they were like, fine, let's do it. It'll be progress and we can build on it later. It was the bill Republicans wanted. Donald Trump made a phone call and killed it. And I'm going to put up some screenshots here for you so that you can see all of the headlines saying that that's what happened. And somehow Republican voters who are watching Fox News don't know it. So you really need to ask yourself, do I want a lawmaker who actually wants to fix the problem, which Kamala Harris does and Democrats do, or do I want a president who wants to perpetuate the problem because if he lies enough about immigrants, he'll keep getting reelected by people who he has made afraid? That is not leadership. That is pathetic. Please do the research, okay? If you just Google anything but Fox News, you will find out that the problem as far as immigration legislation goes has been Republicans, will remain Republicans, and if you want the border solved and you want the U.S. to have the workers it needs, and if you want a pathway to citizenship for Dreamers, vote for Democrats, because as is true with every other issue you care about, They want to solve it. Republicans want to keep winning elections by keeping it broken. Thank you for listening.